Hey everyone, Coach Iva back with the Brain Rewired. I am a life and a business coach. I have a neuro coaching certification, which means that I get to help my clients rewire their neural pathways for success. I am so excited to be back with you this week. Last week, I talked about the power of the subconscious memory. If you missed that video, I encourage you to go back and watch it. But I talked about how 90 to 95% of our daily decisions and actions that we take come from our subconscious, and how our subconscious influences so much of what we do on a daily basis. And today I want to talk about how the brain actually forms the thought patterns that it stores in subconscious memory. And how does the brain know when it's time to store something in subconscious? Well, first of all, the brain loves patterns. The brain is always looking for patterns. The brain doesn't know if a thought is good or bad, if it's true or false, if it's right or wrong. The brain is simply looking for patterns. And so, what happens is when we encounter a situation in our life, the situation is neutral, completely neutral. But as soon as we encounter a situation, there's a thought that fires in our prefrontal cortex, that logical thinking part of our brain. That thought fires about the situation. And then, as soon as that thought fires, there's an emotion that fires from the limbic system in our brain, that emotional center of our brain. And that thought combined with the emotion repeated often enough is when the brain knows that it's time to store it in subconscious memory. Now, those thoughts can be good or they can be bad. And the brain doesn't know if it's good or bad, if it's a thought that we should have or we shouldn't have. And scientifically, we know it takes about 67 repetitions. And when the brain has about that amount of repetitions, then the brain will say, okay, it's time to store it in subconscious memory. Now, this is a very simplistic description of how our brain stores thought patterns in subconscious, but I want to make it so that it's simple and easy for you to understand. I want to give you a personal example from my own life. So one of the thoughts that I uncovered in my own subconscious memory was this thought that I was not smart enough. And as I reflect back on my life, and I see all through childhood and my growing up years, I can see how this thought pattern that was running an automation in my subconscious, that I wasn't smart enough, was affecting me. I can see that it held me back in my career. I can see that it held me back in relationships in my life. And it wasn't until the recent years that I was able to uncover that belief pattern and begin to rewire it and replace it with the truth that I am smart enough. And as I've done that deep transformational process and that rewiring of my brain, I have seen such a powerful shift in my life. I'm showing up much more confidently in my relationships and in my career and as a leader in every area of my life. So much has shifted for me because I've done that rewiring process. And so I just want to share that as an example. I didn't intentionally look to store that thought pattern in my brain, but obviously this thought had run across my neural pathways often enough that my brain picked it up as a pattern and stored it in automation in my subconscious memory. So that's just an example of a real life example of how this works. And I hope that helps you kind of understand how the brain stores thought patterns in subconscious and then how it affects us in our life on a daily basis. But there's hope. We get to rewire those negative thought patterns. We don't have to stay stuck there. And that's what I help my clients do. And so, if you want to know more about what I do as a coach, you can find me at ivabontrager.com on my website. And I will also leave my calendar link in the comment section below. And you can just click on there, find a time that works for you, and set up a free 30-minute discovery call with me. And I will just hear what is it that you're experiencing in your life? What is it that you want to work on? And we can talk about how I can support you as a coach. And I would really encourage you to take advantage of that. It's just really fun to talk with me, talk about how I can help you move beyond those things that come up for you that are running an automation in your subconscious memory that might be holding you back. But I hope you enjoyed this today. I hope it was helpful for you. And I look forward to talking to you again next week about the brain. All right, bye for now.